And now we're going to get to the news. After President Biden met last week with the K-pop band BTS, the White House posted a video to Instagram that showed Biden playing the group's hit song Butter, but they cut out the part where he asked them to please write a song about something he's allowed to have. Smooth like hummus. How about that? President Biden delivered an address on Thursday night from the White House and called on Congress to pass gun safety legislation, which is kind of like calling on the Jets to win the Super Bowl. You can ask. That's right, President Biden delivered an address on Thursday night and called on Congress to ban assault-style weapons and expand background checks, or at the very least, get rid of the vending machines. Dr. Mehmet Oz last week won Pennsylvania's Republican Senate primary, which seems a little crazy. I mean, is he even qualified to be a doctor? The House Select Committee investigating the Capitol attack will hold its first public hearing on Thursday, so we can all finally get to the bottom of that thing the entire country watched on live TV in real time. A man recently threw cake on the protective glass of Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa painting at the Louvre in Paris. He also threw some on a Picasso, but no one noticed. Yeah, we'll go after Picasso. You're not off the hook, Picasso. Yesterday was National Hot Air Balloon Day. This news was first reported by a very apologetic JetBlue gate agent. Faze and I talked backstage, and we were like, I think we put JetBlue on the balloon. You know what? I don't think it would have mattered either way. During a parade... So did you guys even understand, though? I feel like you guys don't even... You buy a ticket on a JetBlue flight, and then you get to the gate, and they have to apologize and be like, we're very sorry, it's hot air balloon day, you gotta ride a hot air balloon. You know, we were on hiatus, we're all a little rusty. During a parade over the weekend honoring her Platinum Jubilee, a hologram of Queen Elizabeth was shown in her gold stagecoach, and whatever you think of the Queen, her duet with Tupac was amazing. And finally, New York's LaGuardia Airport over the weekend debuted its newly renovated Terminal C, which features an 11-lane security screening area. And this is cool, one of them is open. The First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, yesterday unveiled a new postage stamp that honors former First Lady Nancy Reagan. The stamp will be very helpful when you need to figure out which birthday card came from your grandparents. Let's see, flower, flower, Snoopy, gay pride. Oh, here we go. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg announced yesterday that he has tested positive for a breakthrough case of the coronavirus. Unfortunately, he's still not old enough for the vaccine. According to reports, former President Trump's advisors are divided on if Trump should announce his re-election campaign before this year's midterm elections or wait so he does not take attention away from other candidates. Oh, because he'd hate stealing attention. Trump's like a bridesmaid who keeps mentioning in her speech that it's her half-birthday. According to reports, former President Trump may launch his re-election campaign on July 4th, so step aside, dogs. It's our turn to hate that day. That's a very good scared of a fireworks dog right there. That's how you say it, a fireworks, right? Yeah. It sounded weird, but that's definitely the way you say it. The 6th installment of the dinosaur sci-fi series called Jurassic World Dominion will be released this Friday in theaters. Man, if that series goes on any longer, they're gonna have to include mammals. The horses are out! Lawmakers in New York recently passed the so-called Stop the Chop Act, which will allow residents to sue companies for excessive helicopter noise. So now, New York residents will only have to deal with noise from garbage trucks. Sweet streepers, ambulances, weed whackers, leaf blowers, and people screaming when a rat popped its head out of a bodega. And finally, a guinea pig in Hungary named Molly was recently honored with the Guinness World Record for most basketball slam dunks in 30 seconds. But before you get too excited, full disclosure, apparently the rim was only set at 9 feet 6 inches. You know, I was a little concerned that that was our closer. Yeah. You know what? Then I thought, trust the process. Baze knows. Oh. I don't know why. You know what, guys? Look, the important thing is we told that joke. We had the courage to tell it. President Biden is reportedly preparing to forgive $10,000 in student loan debt for Americans who make less than $150,000. $10,000, or as your college calls it, a chemistry book. President Biden traveled today to Los Angeles, not sure what for, but it's got to have something to do with Top Gun. The public congressional hearings on the Capitol attack kick off tomorrow night in prime time, and make sure to tune in afterwards for Talking Insurrection, hosted by Chris Hardwick. Fox News announced this week that it will not carry live coverage of Congress's primetime hearings over the Capitol attack to focus on more important news like, would it kill Mulan to wear a dress? British Prime Minister Boris Johnson on Monday narrowly survived a no-confidence vote in Parliament, and from the looks of him, he also narrowly survived electrocution.
No, I think the hair looks quite good. I think I'll go out now and let everyone know that I have confidence that the hair is good.
According to a new poll, 72% of New Yorkers believe Mayor Eric Adams is doing better than or as well as his predecessor, Bill de Blasio. I knew if we just gave him a chance, he would prove just how much we didn't like Bill de Blasio. The CDC this week raised its monkeypox alert to level 2, though if you want people to take it seriously, don't change the alert level, change the name. Monkeypox just sounds too cute. Monkeypox? You guys, should we get it? I'm gonna get it for the summer. A man in California was arrested this week for allegedly stealing an Olympic gold medal from a car. Officials suspected the man was guilty when they very easily caught up to him. Singer Jimmy Buffett's new Margaritaville at Sea cruise line recently launched its first ship for a one-night-only inaugural voyage, and nothing says safety like Margaritaville, a song that is about a drunk guy who cuts himself and decides to get drunker.
There are some people on this show who are of the age that we know the plot lines of the Jimmy Buffett songs.
And finally, at a recent press conference, a judge in India referenced a case where a man filed for divorce from his wife because she cooked him instant noodles for every meal. Well, fortunately for that guy, he's already got a solid idea of what single life is going to be like. The House committee investigating the Capitol attack held its first public hearing tonight, where they called their first witness literally all of us. That's right. The January 6th committee aired a 90-minute hearing tonight, which was carried live by all the major news networks except Fox News, though Fox ended up with better ratings by just airing the original Capitol attack. President Biden criticized the Republican Party in a new interview and said it has undergone a, quote, radical shift since former President Trump was elected. I don't know. I think they were always this radical, and then they elected a guy who couldn't be subtle about it. It's like when you're at a dinner party and you whisper to your wife, dinner parties suck. And then she says, dinner parties suck? And then you have to say, okay, yes, I think dinner parties suck, everybody. President Biden said yesterday that he is often asked why he does not play the political games that the Republicans play, and said, quote, if we do the same thing they do, our democracy will literally be in jeopardy. Okay, you know there was a televised insurrection hearing tonight, right? It's already in jeopardy. That's like the captain of the Titanic saying, I'm worried everyone running to one side isn't good for the boat. Republican Senator John Kennedy criticized the Biden administration yesterday for not doing more to bring down high gas prices and added that it would be, quote, cheaper to buy cocaine and just run everywhere. Which okay, it's a pretty cute joke, but mostly I want to know, where are you getting a gallon of cocaine for $6? Don't be stingy, Jack. Arizona Republican Senate candidate Blake Masters reportedly met with conservative activists earlier this year at a Phoenix IHOP and suggested that the Capitol attack may have been a false flag operation set up by the FBI, which is absolutely the least crazy idea ever pitched at a Phoenix IHOP. Today was National Sex Day. Ooh. During the day? A group of pro-choice topless protesters with green paint on their chests stormed the court of a WNBA game in Brooklyn this week, but the NYPD announced that no charges were filed. Apparently, they couldn't make an arrest because nobody saw their faces. Oh, not I! There's no way I would not look at a face! The cosmetics company Nails Inc. recently launched a line of cheese-scented nail polishes, or if that's too expensive, just eat one handful of Cheetos. And finally, a man in Wales broke a Guinness World Record after drinking at 56 pubs in 24 hours. It was for most sober man in Wales. And that was a